How's it going, everybody? I'm the best is, the best there was, the best ever will be there, but none before me, there'll be none after me. Therefore, I am the one and only Jake Covey, and welcome to Wrestling Made Simple. We got an action-packed, all-in episode this week with your all-in predictions, your news of the week, your Raw and SmackDown reviews, and then we go into our predictions. We may have a review of a classic Backlash. I'm thinking 2015. We have your drink of the week, and then the battle droid of the week. But let's get into the news this week. Is a former WWE star hinting at a comeback? Apparently Mandy Rose may be hinting at something, as she has been tweeting all about time to spice things up and do things differently. I don't know if this means she's coming back to WWE. Maybe she'll show up at All In. No one knows what's going on with Mandy Rose, but Mandy Rose. So, let's see what happens. And what is your opinions of Tony Khan? Apparently, WBD president told Tony Khan's father, Shad Khan, says, basically Warner Bros. Discovery, told Shad Khan that your son is fucking killing it in AEW. Hey, I'll be one to admit I didn't think AEW would go this far, but they've done very well. I thought that they were going to be a Impact Zone promotion of, yeah, they'll challenge WWE for a little while, and then you'll never hear of them again. All their top stars will go to WWE, but you know what? They've held on to their stars. They've done very well, and I'm very proud to admit when I'm wrong. I'm looking forward to All In and seeing what they could do in Wembley Stadium. But unfortunately for those All-In fans, it might not be all they're picturing. A couple wrestlers may be pulled from the card, and one of them may be one of my favorite wrestlers in AEW, Rey Fenix. Rey Fenix may not be allowed to perform on the card because of certain issues with travel or something. It has been quoted by Tony Khan as saying problems outside of the wrestling world will have to make us change the card. Apparently, Rey Fenix is one of the ones. I hope not. He is a star that I could see anywhere in the world selling out arenas. This guy and his brother Pentagon are two amazing competitors. But so, you guys excited for All In? Let me know in the comments if you are. I know I actually am. I've been kind of checking out AEW since All In kind of came about, since they announced they were doing it inside Wembley. But I am very excited for it. I really am. Let's go to SmackDown now. SmackDown kicked off with United States Champion Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar in the LWO. Appearing on the Grayson Waller effect, Grayson Waller accused Rey of stealing the title match from Santos, but Rey Mysterio says Escobar said he gave Rey his blessing to compete in his place, and the only person mad is Austin Theory. Austin Theory then came out. He called out Pierce to a ring and demanded he overturn the United States Championship. LA Knight then came out and challenged LA Knight to a number one contenders match. The number one contenders match was then won by Austin Theory as The Miz would interfere, costing LA Knight, the number one contendership. We then get pre-taped interviews with Rey Mysterio, John Cena, Kurt Angle, Cody Rhodes, Sheamus, Natalya, The Miz, Charlotte Flair, all talking about Edge's 25th anniversary. We then get Damage Control versus Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair. Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair would pick up the win, but after the match, Bianca Belair would be attacked by Damage Control, brutally assaulting her and hurting her knee. So, don't know how long she's going to be on the shelf for. We then get the Street Profits versus Gallows and Anderson. This was very cool to see the Street Profits being more heels and Bobby Lashley coming out and congratulating him. I really am excited for this faction, and I want to see how they're going to build. We then get Beth Phoenix coming to ringside for her husband Edge's supposedly last match. Edge and Sheamus just tore the house down. There was no question they were going to. After the match, both men hugged. Edge would finally deliver the spear to pick up the win. Edge would cut a promo saying this might be the last time he performs in front of all of us. Apparently his contract ends in September. There's talk of him going to AEW. I don't know if it's true. I believe he's done everything he wants to do in wrestling. I don't see any reason for him to go to AEW besides maybe another match with Christian, but besides that, there's no reason. He's done everything. You know, people are saying, oh, I want him to show up at AEW. Why? He's not going to hold a title. He's done. He's done it. He's won millions of titles. He's one of the greatest ever. Top 10. And you know what? There's nothing more he needs to do. He's made careers, and his career's been made. So, Edge, if this is the last time we ever see you in the WWE ring or any wrestling ring, thank you for everything. If you go to AEW, awesome. Have a couple more great matches. I don't think he needs to. Just my opinion. Let's go Raw. As Raw kicked off with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn would go to cut a promo, but the Judgment Day would surround Sami. Sami said he didn't come alone. Kevin Owens then came out and brawled with the Judgment Day. This was awesome. I loved this. I loved Owens coming back. I love that line. It was basically made famous by Mick Foley when Evolution came out and he said, I didn't come back to Raw alone. And then The Rock came out. You had Dolph Ziggler do it where he introduced the world to Drew McIntyre basically again. Drew McIntyre and him would form a tag team, and now you have Kevin Owens doing it with Sami Zayn. I just love that. I think it's fun. We then get the New Day versus Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle. Apparently they have a new name. McRiddle. I don't know if it's official, but it's still funny as fuck. The New Day would pick up the win, but the Viking Raiders would attack McIntyre behind the referee's back, and Kingston would pick up the win because of that. Even though the Viking Raiders would attack New Day, this feels more of a heel move for the New Day. We then get what I thought would be your match of the night of Chad Gable versus Intercontinental Champion Gunther. It was a great match until the end. The ending pissed me off. A count-out victory for Chad Gable. Yeah, Gable wins, but it just didn't feel great. It really hurt me that that's what they did with Gable. I guess they're doing it so Gunther can hold on to the IC title long enough to basically say, yeah, I'm the longest reigning IC champion ever. And then maybe have him lose it at Payback. We then get Cody Rhodes calling JD McDonough a Funko Pop. I thought that was hilarious. We then get Shinsuke revealing what he said to Seth Rollins. He told Seth Rollins he knows about his back injury. Apparently Seth Rollins has been dealing with a lot of back injuries, and he's kept it quiet throughout the years. I don't know if this is storyline or true. Seth has talked about it in an interview on Raw, but I don't know if it's true. It was then confirmed it will be Rollins versus Nakamura for the world title at Payback. I wouldn't mind this if they take the title for Rollins and put on Nakamura. Wouldn't mind that at all. We then get Rhea Ripley versus Candice LeRae. Rhea Ripley would basically squash Candice, but Raquel Rodriguez would return, drop the crutch, and attack Rhea Ripley. It was then confirmed that it will be Rhea versus Raquel for the Women's World title at Payback. The Miz then had a match with Akira Tozawa because Akira Tozawa kept saying, yeah. LA Knight would join the commentary and would actually cost The Miz the match. And Akira Tozawa would win. Miz then got laid out with the BFT. LA Knight stands tall, getting his victory back. We then get Becky Lynch announcing that the steel cage will be versus Trish Stratus will be a Payback. And said she's going to face Zoe Starks next week on Raw in a Falls Count Anywhere match. We can get the women's tag team champions defending their titles successfully. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven versus Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Now, a lot of people are bashing this, and I was kind of one of them. I'm very excited for this tag team. I really am. Apparently, this might have been what the tag team was supposed to be going into WrestleMania. But, I'm not mad. This could be fun. We then get the Judgment Day versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Judgment Day would pick up the win after JD McDonough showed up and threw the Money in the Bank briefcase towards Finn. Kevin Owens caught it and hit Finn in the head with it to cause the disqualification. We would then get Cody Rhodes joining the team and the Undisputed Tag Team Champions, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, with Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and NXT Champion Dominic Mysterio. This would be a good match. Owens would pin Dirty Dom. But Rhea Ripley then body slammed Owens during the match. That was awesome to see. Rhea Ripley has such power, and it makes her such a formidable opponent that you just gotta love. You gotta love what she's able to do. This was a fun Raw. I really enjoyed this week's WWE programming. It's definitely hard for them to compete with All In, but they're trying. They're going to try with this one. Let's look at All In, ladies and gentlemen. All In has 9 matches announced. And I'm actually... I can't describe my excitement for this pay-per-view. I really can't. You have the Aussie Open, Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher versus the champions Adam Cole, baby, and MJF for the Tag Team ROH World Championship. I think Aussie Open are going to win this match, but MJF and Adam Cole are going to have a great match, and it's going to lead to Adam Cole turning on MJF. We then get Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler versus the Young Bucks, FTR versus the Young Bucks, in an AEW World Tag Team Championship. I'm not going to talk about Dax Harwood. I'm not going to talk about his personal life. That's his personal life. It sucks that he's going through that, and I wish he wasn't. I think the Young Bucks are going to retain, are going to take the titles, and FTR is going to leave AEW. They've talked about it. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't think they're going back to WWE. I think they'll go somewhere else, maybe New Japan. Maybe they sign new deals. But that's the way I see it working out. We then get Hikaru Shida, I never say her name right, versus Toni Storm, versus Saraya, versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, in a fatal four-way for the AEW Women's World Championship. I completely believe it's either going to be Britt Baker or Saraya. If it's Saraya, this pay-per-view drops dead right there. They cannot put the title on her. If they do, and if they don't and she complains about it, really, like, actually, like, not heelish complain, but actually complains, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be extremely pissed. We then get Darby Allin and Sting versus Mogul Embassy of AR Fox and Swerve Strickland in a tag team coffin match. I think we're leading up to one of Sting's last matches. I don't think it's this, but I think we're close. Darby Allin and Sting are going to pick up the win, but I can't tell you how excited I am to see Swerve and AR Fox teaming together. These guys had one of my favorite matches ever. If you haven't watched it, go watch the 3 Stages of Hell match they basically had in Lucha Underground. It was a first blood match. a no disqualification match, and then an ambulance match. This match that they had, I can't even describe it. It is in my top 5, if not top 3 matches of all time. It was just perfect. These guys told the story all season leading up to that. For weeks upon weeks upon weeks upon weeks, these guys told this story. So to see them teaming together is awesome. I can't tell you how happy I am for that. We then get the Golden Elite Hangman Adam Page versus Kushida. I can never say this right. Takeshita and Bullet Club Gold in a 6-man tag team match. This could be a good one. I don't like 6-man tags. I'll go with Bullet Club Gold. We then get Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, the Best Friends, Pentagon El Zero Miedo, and TBA, so I guess they have pulled Rey Fenix, versus Blackpool Combat Club and 3 others in a Stadium Stampede match. I'm giving this to Eddie Kingston, this team. I'll be very happy to see that. I imagine Pac would probably be announced for it. Oh, is he injured? He might be injured, actually. Let me think about that one. We think it Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's going to win this match. It sucks to say that, but Chris Jericho has basically been the golden boy in AEW since debuting there, and he's a legend. But you can't be the guy who's just like, I want to be the top guy at your age, man. I understand being a top guy, but not the top guy. CM Punk versus Samoa Joe for the Real World Championship. CM Punk's going to win. I have to say, he has been the one thing I've hated about AEW. CM Punk. The guy's an amazing performer. One of the best in the world. No problem saying that. No problem at all. But it's just been one of the worst runs for him he could have had. The guy has proven himself either to be a huge, great worker or a locker room cancer. And I'm going with the latter. We then get your main event, MJF versus Adam Cole for the AEW World Championship. MJF is going to retain, but it's going to be one of the best matches of the year, in my opinion. These guys always show out. I love these guys. MJF. But those are my predictions for AEW. You know, I could use a drink. How about, in honor of All In being in England, the English Garden. 1 ounce gin, half an ounce of lime juice, 2 ounces of apple juice, a cucumber, and some ice. You're going to need a hurricane glass and some basic bar tools. You're going to add cucumber slices to the base of the glass and pour over some simple syrup. Muddle thoroughly. Add the ice, the gin, the lime juice, and the apple juice. Shake well, straight into the glass. Garnish with an extra cucumber and a mint leaf. And there you go. Nice English Garden. This drink is delicious and it's fun and it's one you can have a couple of. It's not a truly strong one. So I really like this drink. You know what? Y'all have been patient with me doing my AEW stuff. I think we've earned a Payback review. Which event am I going to go to? How about Payback 2015? It kicked off with R-Truth versus Stardust on the pre-show. Alright match. I really did enjoy R-Truth and Stardust for some reason. R-Truth would pick up the win. You then get the Ascension versus the Mega Powers of Kurt Axel versus Macho Mandow. Kurt Axel was still doing his Axelmania stick, so it was a really funny joke on the Mega Powers. The Ascension would pick up the win. Unfortunately, this would still be at the time when they are pitched as a okay tag team and then getting their asses kicked at the Raw Reunion show. We then get Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler in a great match. Sheamus would pick up the win over Dolph Ziggler in a 12-minute match. Very fun to see. Really enjoyed that. We then get the New Day versus Tyson Kidd Cesaro. This was a 2 out of 3 falls match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro were definitely a weird team to me and always will be. It was 2-1, and the New Day really, to me, felt like they were always in charge. So, you know, it was an okay match. We then get the... This was always a weird feud for me. Bray Wyatt versus Ryback. Bray Wyatt would pick up the win. That's enough said about this match. We then get John Cena versus Rusev in an I Quit match for the WWE United States Championship. This was a 27-minute match and the longest match of the night. Of course, it's John Cena. John Cena and Rusev had a great feud going on at this time. They were just perfect working together. If you're actually looking for a great Rusev feud in WWE, look to this one. John Cena would pick up the win, but Rusev did look strong in defeat. We then get Naomi and Tamina versus the Bella Twins in a tag team match. Meh. Naomi and Tamina would pick up the win in a 6-minute match. Alright. We then get Neville versus King Barrett. Neville was on a tear at this time. He was an amazing performer. Had just debuted on Raw and had a great match against Seth Rollins for the WWE title, even though he would come up a little short. He would then pick up the win over King Barrett, and Neville would look huge with this win. We then get Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns in a fatal 4-way match. Had Rollins lost the title, Kane would have been fired for being director of operations for WWE. Seth Rollins would win. It would be a great match. These guys all had amazing chemistry. That was made when they had their feud with Evolution. I really did like this match, and this is a fun main event to go back and watch. It gets a little heat for the way they pulled it off, but I enjoyed this match. People felt like Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose and Seth should have had that match at Mania. This is still a fun match, and with the inclusion of Randy Orton, it adds a little more experience to the team. So, really like this. This is a fun failed 4-way. Seth would retain, but the only problem with it is Seth didn't have a good finisher at the time. He'd be using kind of the pedigree, and he'd be experimenting with others because the curb stomp had just been banned. Seth Rollins would pick up the win in a 21-minute match. Again, fun, but definitely different. And ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Battle Droid of the Week. I really don't know who named Battle Droid of the Week this week. You know what? I'm going to give it to the guy whoever decided to do a count-out victory for Chad Gable. Chad Gable should have taken the pin after a hard-fought match instead of a count-out. It gives Chad Gable a little edge, but at the same time, I'm just sitting there going, alright, it felt unnecessary to me. So, you know what? To whoever you are, you get the Battle Droid of the Week. Congratulations.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to Wrestling Made Simple this week. I have been the big guy. This has been Wrestling Made Simple. Enjoy all in, and I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.